Bellara! I need your help.
Elio, what's wrong?
Can you help? There are veil jumpers in the forest who have been gone too long. They were searching for relics. With the recent troubles, they could use a protective escort to bring those relics back to camp.
I'll start the search.
And I'll stay here, in case someone shows up.
There it is. That's the Veil Jumper camp. Watch out! That relic just went off. What happened to that Veil Jumper? He was right here. Oh, this isn't good. We need to find him.
Is anyone out there?
One of those magical relics the Veil Jumpers were dealing with must be nearby. A spatial anomaly. We can't reach that Veil Jumper unless we find some way around it.
You saved me. I'm saved. I'm alive. I was working on the relic and then everything went dark and quiet. It felt like nothing and nowhere. I'll catch my breath and make my own way back to camp.
There are others missing. We'll continue searching for them. Looks like another relic nearby. Damn. We were too late.
Hello? Is anyone out there?
That's probably one of the missing Veil Jumpers. Let's get that barrier down. Must be a magical relic causing this. Sure, here we go. Going to get you out.
Got it.
I kept calling and no one came. It felt like an eternity, and the shadows were so dark. So dark. But I'll be all right. I'll make my own way back to the camp.
Those magical relics is close.
It's causing magic to go wild. Have to stop it.
Take a look. Got it.
Oh, thank the creators. Did Elio send you? I have to talk to him once I return to camp. It's so odd. I've seen relics like that before. I know how they work, but this one, it was wrong.
I think that's everyone. Let's get back to Elio. Look at that.
Company, get ready. They interrupt, as predicted, as expected, as hoped.
What was that?
Learn, adapt, triumph.
I found most of your friends, but one didn't make it. I'm sorry.
We all know the risks, but it's still difficult when someone gets hurt. There's one last relic out there we never found. If you come across it, be careful. I think someone's meddling with the magic in Arlethan.
I'll try to be safe.
When last we spoke, you were hunting for followers of Elganan and Gillenane in hopes of finding specifics. Has your search been successful?
You could say that. It looks like both the Venatori and the Antam are working for Elgranon and Gillenane.
Unsurprising. The Venatori want magical secrets, and the Antam want to destroy anyone opposing their brutal expansion. Both will readily bow to anyone who promises them power.
And now we've seen that power firsthand. The Antam and the Venatori both have dragons doing their bidding.
Dragons? That is worse than I had feared.
Yeah. We drove off the one the Venatori brought into Minrathis. Barely.
Have you determined how the dragons are being directed? If it is blood magic, it may be possible to disrupt their control.
The dragons were blighted. We think that's what let the gods control them.
The Blight. Of course.
The Blight seems to be the gods' favored tool right now. We ran into Venatori who could control Darkspawn.
Elganan would not bestow such power unless the Darkspawn were to serve as the main force of his army. And I suspect Gillenane will see the Darkspawn as new subjects for her modifications.
We've already run into a few Darkspawn nobody has seen before. That's in addition to the blighted dragons.
That is the fate Elganan and Gillenane planned for this world then. Corruption and blighted slavery.
Stop acting like you're so much better than they are. Your bullshit ritual would have destroyed the world just as badly.
Do you truly believe my goal was to destroy this world?
I believe your goal, like you said, was to transfer the gods to a better prison. The one you're stuck in now. And you were willing to tear down the Veil and destroy this world while you did so.
The Veil is a wound I cut into the Fade in a moment of desperation, while making their prison. It should not exist. I had a host of spirits ready to help when the Veil fell. They would have minimized the loss of life.
Do you have any idea what you sound like? You could have actually saved the world from the Blight. But instead you chose to kill thousands of people with your vanity project.
It is not vanity. I broke this world. I am the only one who can fix it.
Spoken like a god.
I am not a god. I am as I have always been. A man, all too aware of his failings. But equally aware that if he did not act, accepting the judgment it would bring, all would be lost. They call me the Dread Wolf. What will they call you when this is over?
I don't care what they call me. If they're calling me anything, it means they're still alive. That's all that matters.
Acceptance. You are willing to face the consequences your actions may one day bring because the world needs you. I believe I can work with that. If the gods are using dragons, you will wish to find someone trained to fight them. Have you unlocked the Lighthouse Illuvian?
Yes, we found the crossroads. It's still confusing, though.
I cannot help you from in here. You may need to find an expert in the magic of the Fade. And if the Darkspawn are to be Elganan's army, you will need Grey Wardens to fight them.
I've got a few of them. Their leaders don't trust me right now, though.
I have faith in you, Rook. You seem to have a knack for gaining the cooperation of your adversaries.
Solus thinks we need a dragon hunter and a Fade expert. He's right, about the Dragon Hunter at least. Rook, when I was with the Inquisition, I saw some terrible things. But what happened to Treviso? I mean, so much death. Lucanus stayed behind. He said he'll be back soon, but at least you took care of yours.
We heard it, but didn't kill it. The dragon flew off before we could put it down.
A dragon hunter would have helped him in Rathas, that's for sure.
Then we find one. Next time a blighted dragon comes calling, it'll be the last time it comes calling.
We can't forget the second dragon in Treviso. We should see how we can help, but we're without Lucanus until he's done helping the crows. Who knows how long?
Hey, let's not get stuck in our regrets, all right?
Just so we're clear, you're taking advice from this elven god, Solus. The Solus who tried to tear down the Veil? You really trust him?
Of course I don't trust him. He's the only option we have. If it makes you feel better, we've checked every piece of information he gave us.
That does make me feel better.
So a Fade expert and a Dragon Hunter. I'll ask around about Dragon Hunters and see what turns up. Come talk to me in a bit.
And I've been corresponding with someone about the lighthouse's reverberative oscillations and the resulting dimensional peculiarities. Oh, sorry. Not relevant. I'll get a message through to a Fade expert immediately.
See, Rook? Nothing to worry about.
All right, we all know what to do. Let's get going. Pit of Darkspawn. Let's clear them out.
Oh, is it time again? Great!
Smooth work, Val.
That should take care of it.
All right, let's get that.
Gods.
Good work, everyone!
Every one of these gets us a little farther.
Look at that. The elven parts of these ruins aren't just bits from the Fade. We actually lived here.
It's another of those statuettes. The memory fragments.
Conveniently placed.
Ambush!
And there it is. Company to the rear. Got us a range. Watch it.
Get the fast!
Range incoming! Trap. That statue was a fake. But if the Fade is mostly reflections of something else, the real one could be close. Break through! The Ontom are trying to cut us off!
We must be doing something right!
Nice shot.
Heavy here!
Well, that's done.
There. I'd say that's where we're headed.
Got company.
Hitting us from range! Finish them off! Tell this statuette is the real thing. A memory fragment, not just because it was very well guarded. Okay, Balara, what's your lead on getting us a Fade expert for the team.
Good evening.
Greetings.
Rook! So, we need a fate expert. I've been writing to a senior mage who fits the part. But right now, he's on an expedition, so I reached out to his colleagues to find him. This is Lady Myrna and Vorgoth. They're necromancers. Mournwatch ones, I mean.
Your friend's request for a fate expert was urgent. How darksome are things outside Navarra?
Very.
I see. Belara's correspondent is Professor Emmerich Volkarin, a fate expert and powerful psychagogue.
You will need him.
Where can I find him?
The professor is currently delving the shrouded halls in the Grand Necropolis. We will grant you passage to look for him. Where the dead. Lately they grow restless.
This is it. But no sign of the professor.
I hope he's here and that he doesn't mind us disturbing him. He is a senior necromancer. I don't... Oh!
What a marvelous surprise! Any trouble with the lift? Our last guests were stuck for hours. Poor souls. Oh. Professor Emmerich Volkarin of the Mournwatch.
Hello, Professor. We've never met. Well, in person, but I've been writing to you.
Belara, my dear girl. What a pleasure. Surely you didn't come all this way just to see me.
Actually, we did. You see, we need a fate expert.
I'm Rook.
Charmed.
I liked that bit with the flaming skull.
It's nothing, really. Just an evocation of the flame of the last steps.
Looks great.
Thank you. You know, I'm never quite sure how these spells strike someone from outside Navarra. I'd be pleased to continue our conversation after I tend to some small business here. I must investigate. Would you two mind accompanying me further into the shrouded halls?
Toward that screaming?
Something's gone awry in this part of the necropolis, Rook. The dead stir more easily than they should.
Something weird up ahead.
Strange. These halls should be under the protection of the bell.
Is that a despair demon?
Fascinating, isn't it? They shouldn't be able to breach the shrouded halls at all.
Take your word for it.
There's a fight ahead. It's vital we discover why that spirit manifested here.
Lead the way, Professor.
Someone's barred the door and chained the sunken star.
There's undead here.
We may need to defend ourselves depending on their condition.
Haven't fought undead in a while.
There's no reaching these. They're monsters.
What does that mean?
I'm afraid sometimes the weaker get work themselves into frenzies. I must free that bell.
Need some help?
Thank you. The star, the bell, can banish these despair spirits if we unchain it. We'll need a wisp to unseal the doors leading out. Could you please find one and bring it here?
Okay. How?
Give your greetings, and the wisp will follow.
Hello.
Wisps are the simplest of spirits, but quite helpful. Bring the wisp here, and we can unseal the doors.
Door's open. Where to now?
This should lead us to the upper chambers, where we can free the bell. There's someone I'd like to consult with on the way.
I hope we can help here, Professor.
You already have, Melara. And it's just Emmerich. Please.
Great, Professor.
I assume your visit has to do with recent upheavals we've sensed in the Fade?
Oh, just a little. Trouble coming. Good work, everyone! This magic, it drains everything around it.
Echoes of the despair spirits, misery devouring itself. We should keep our distance. If provoked, these manifestations will shatter.
This is locked too. I didn't see any wisps around.
Then I shall call for aid. They've answered. We'll need to guide the wisps who've just arrived to the door.
Those wisps really came just because you asked.
They care for us, Rook. Our ever-loyal friends amongst the dead.
Here's our second wisp.
These are way different than some of the wisps in Arlethan.
I should like to meet some one day.
I don't know, Professor. Your wisps seem less, dangerous.
There's the last wisp.
Good. Let's return to the door. Well done. Past these chambers, we'll find some assistance with reaching the bell. Despair is far more pervasive than I'd thought. We must stop who's ever drawing these spirits here, Rook.
You think a person's behind all the despair demons?
Oh yes. Mortals are their prime attraction.
Careful, ahead. Knew you could do it, Rook.
How do we get rid of all these despair demons?
Their source is near the bell you saw earlier. Ringing it will banish them, but we must find who lured them there in the first place. Tell me, Rook, where are you from?
I spent most of my life in Antiva.
Am I correct in guessing you're one of the crows?
At your service.
You must tell me about your journeys once we're above ground. Here we are. This is where we'll learn who summoned these despair spirits.
But how?
You must open yourself to possibilities while in the necropolis. Would you mind lighting those braziers, Rook? This should unseal our final pass to the bell. It's best we unchain it quickly.
What's it do exactly?
The sunken star will drive away despair. Any malicious spirit that hears the tolling of the bell will be banished to the Fae.
Oh, that'd be helpful in Arlethan, but I bet it only works here, doesn't it?
Quite correct. The bell would be inert outside the necropolis.
Still, I bet the principles could be replicated.
Excellent. Approach the body and we'll begin. By seal and flame, who brought despair in our midst? Despair, Who brought it here?
Venatori!
The Venatori. Of course. This way, please.
What did you just do?
The colloquial term is corpse whispering, a gift that manifested with my magic.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Honestly, I've no idea how the other Watchers navigate the necropolis without it.
Shh, think I hear someone.
This map is useless. We wasted 3 slaves in those traps. If that Hand of Glory burns down...
So don't dawdle!
Found this Venatori.
They have no place in these halls.
Finish the map.
Masterfully done, Rook.
Right now. Finish them up.
Your life for theirs!
That's spot, move!
What are the Venatori after? Gold? Artifacts?
Raw magic. Their first envoys were obsessed with gathering power for some new masters.
Ah, I'll fill you in on them later. Well, down one more despair demon. That's the last of them.
I see someone by the crates.
I don't think they're Venatori. Hello? Did the Venatori bring you here?
They said I'd spilled the wine too many times. That I'd be a better sacrifice than slave.
You are in Navarra, sir. There are no slaves on our soil. Please remain here. After we've seen to the rest of the Venatori, I'll send for someone to escort you above.
All right.
Those Venatori dragged that man down here just to die.
The Watchers will shelter him. We'll inquire if he has any family in Minrathous. As for the Venatori, what remains of them will be put to work. The Sunken Star can help us if we break the Venatori's chains.
Right. There's one chain.
Excellent.
Yes!
Kill them all, but save the living!
Be ready. The ritual to wake the bell will draw Despair's attention.
And any more Venatori.
I'll need you to keep them occupied while I work.
There's the Venatori.
Good work, Rook!
They wake up!
End up now!
Venatori brought demons.
Typical of them.
How are we doing, Emmerich?
The bell is slowly awakening, but we must fight a little longer. Strike them then!
Nicely done, Rook! Rage Demon!
Hold fast! An attack from afar! They attack from afar!
Finish them now!
Finish them quickly! Fantastic, Rook!
Oh, nicely done, Rook!
Behind you!
Emmerich, now what?
Now, the Grand Necropolis shows itself!
It worked! Those despair demons are just gone.
Pretty impressive.
Thank you, but come, let's ensure these cultists didn't leave anything dangerous behind. I'll ask our attendants to gather their bodies later, of course.
And this is a severed hand.
It can't be. A hand of glory? The Venatori should never have this. I must find out where it came from. Let me know when you'd like to return to the chambers above.
Let's get back to the lighthouse.
You can tell me why you've sought out a Fade expert on the way?
I know it's a lot, but I swear we've seen the blighted elven gods ourselves.
It would explain recent Oniric disruptions.
At the least. The implications of what Rook's witnessed are... Ah, thank you, Manfred.
No one ever brings me tea after I slog through a haunted crypt.
My assistant, Manfred. Always thoughtful.
You spoke of danger to the Fade.
The Elven gods plan to tear it wide open to get to the Blight. And they've already messed with it. Demons, tears in reality. Our team needs a Fade expert.
Many Watchers never depart Navarra. But with events so dire...
I'd be delighted to assist.
It has been many years since you left us.
Well, yes, but elven gods, ancient magics. I couldn't bear miss this. Besides, I've spent my life exploring the Fade and speaking to spirits. If Rook needs an expert, none are better qualified than I.
Only if your assistant's coming.
Manfred? But of course.
Welcome aboard.
Wonderful. I'll gather my things. Come, Manfred.
The Grand Necropolis was at peace again, and Emmerich was off to a new adventure. But in Navarra, nothing stays down for long. The Venatori had unearthed something no one should have, and delivered it to the worst possible person. Emmerich's journey would soon bring him face to face with the gloaming lantern.